Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to look at two passages. Both are going to be in the book of John. I'm going to start in John chapter 2, verses 13 through 15, starting with the English Standard Version. And that says this: The Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple he found those who were selling oxen and sheep and pigeons and money changers sitting there. And making a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen. And he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. Now, let's jump over to John chapter 11, and I'm going to read verses 33 through 35. When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in his spirit, and was greatly troubled. And he said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Okay, now the New Century Version. So, when it was almost time for the Jewish Passover Feast, Jesus went to Jerusalem. In the temple he found people selling cattle, sheep, and doves. He saw others sitting at tables exchanging different kinds of money. Jesus made a whip of cords and forced all of them, both the sheep and the cattle, to leave the temple. He turned over the tables and scattered the money of those who were exchanging it. Okay, now, chapter 11 and verses 33 through 35. When Jesus saw Mary crying, and the Jews who came with her also crying, he was upset and was deeply troubled. He asked, Where did you bury him? Come and see, Lord, they said. And Jesus wept. Okay, so first of all, there's going to be times I'm almost certain that I'm going to repeat passages or very similar passages, especially from the Gospels. A lot of that is because each time something is read in the Bible, something new can be learned. So I say that to say this. Jesus, who is God, showed emotion. He showed anger because people were mistreating the temple. He showed sadness and sorrow because a good friend of his was dead. So, friend is also another deal that showed his human side. He had friends while here on earth. If Jesus, who is God, can show emotion, then we as Christians should also be able to show emotion. Now, I don't want to get all sappy and wishy-washy. In reality, I have more of a John Wayne mentality of just be tough and get through it. But it is still very important to follow the example of Jesus. Every example that he laid, his example of baptism, his example of just daily life, we need to follow it. And if he was able to show emotion, then it is good for us to also show emotion. Now, there is a healthy and unhealthy way to show it. We need to make sure that every time we show emotion, it is healthy. For example, Jesus was angry in the temple. Did he sin? No, Jesus never sinned. What he did was right in the eyes of God, because they were mistreating the temple. So, find healthy ways to show your emotion. Follow Christ's example. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.